Hey there, guys. Well, it's been a long journey. An epic one, a cowardly one, a one spent mostly in hiding and poisoning people from behind, with clouds of noxious gas. Like some sort of well, ninja with IBS, to put it mildly. But here we are, finally, at the ending, and an opening of sorts.
I hear a voice of yore.
Yes, indeed she does.
The old one is calling for thee.
Still at soul level 1. Figured I might as well record
Let
this
us
just to prove it
proceed
is
below
possible.
to its lair.
And this, technically speaking, without hyper mode. I mean, we've got the Crisp Blade to increase magic power, obviously, but other than that, it's really not that much of an enhanced build. Then we have our Dragon Short Sword, but even then, that was mainly just for getting through the few enemies we couldn't run away from. Now I'm going to be quiet and solemn for this dignified cutscene. Ono, on the other hand.
If you can get me out of here, you can have your key back.
This is where I start to have fun.
Falling down a hole with made who controls the souls, gonna face man's oldest foe. Yeah, baby, now that's the old one. She and I fall down from the sky, unlike patches, I don't lie. Oh my, that's the old one. Come on, you all knew you were waiting for it. It just had to happen. Been a long time since I've done a musical episode. You know, a proper musical episode, anyhow. My god, you look at that thing. You know, no matter how many times I see the end of this game, I can't help but feel the old one looks sort of like an arch tree that went wrong, you know? I can't be the only one who's ever made that connection, seriously. This looks like a sentient arch tree. Yeah, minus all the crucifix and things jammed into it, which I presume are supposed to be the seals that are stopping it from going out and devouring souls by itself.
I have brought thee what thou wishest, thy new
A level 1 wood elf, I kind of doubt what it wanted.
Come now, be good.
It would have been nice if there was some sort of acknowledgement of the fact that I haven't leveled up at all, you know? I mean, there is a little bit of dialogue where the Maiden in Black apologises to you when you tell her that you're not interested in, you know, using other people's souls to make yourself stronger. She apologises for misjudging you and blah blah, and he implies that she thinks very poorly of those who do actually use her abilities. So I think it would be nice to carry that on with, you know, like a proper third ending, where if you go through the entire game without leveling, the old one, you know, perhaps it, you know, sort of rejects you kind of thing, because hey there, buddy. How's it going? You know, it sort of rejects you for clearly not being interested in what it has to offer. Perhaps it even fears you after a fashion, you know. You're willing to do all of this, to risk yourself. To come here and, you know, murder it.
Let us proceed below to
In other
its
people's
lair.
name, and respecting the sanctity of their lives by not using their souls. Just a thought, you know. Bit of Maiden upskirt there, obviously. You know, Japanese game and all that had to be there. Fuck all your branches! They call me the gardener. Actually, they don't, because I don't have the appropriate gear, but if I did, they would. Any dialogue? I know there's two different event triggers somewhere along this path.
You have been chosen by the Old One. Shalt thou seek everlasting demon souls, or obey that naive monumental? Whatever your choice, you are our first visitor. May you be welcome here.
That voice, I knew it. Aquaman! He's finally cracked. He is the final boss. Unfortunately, we're in a pool of water. The one time he might be useful. Fine. You brought this on yourself, brah. I wonder if you can be poisoned as well. Never tried.
Suffering that fills this world, but fight poison with poison. God is merciful.
He said it himself, fight poison with poison.
The Old One. The Old One.
There's no poison haze around you. Actually need a second helping. Ooh, fuck. Almost sunshine. Now he is very, very unmaneuverable and such, but if he does manage to catch you, gotta remember that is Soul Brand that's stuck in his arm there. that will do a chunk of damage, even to someone who isn't a soul level 1. I think at my level it would actually be technically possible for him to one-shot kill me with it. Maybe, possibly. I suppose it depends on my character tendency, or is it his? Yeah, whatever. General point is we don't want to be standing in the path of that. Light 'em up, light 'em up. I don't want to set the world, I don't want to set the world on fire. Just you, Alant. So yeah, this is an easy boss, regardless of how you do it, but it's all level 1. Literally all you gotta do is run to the two ends of the boss room, use fire spray. I can't remember how much damage you do per shot, actually. It's like 40 points of damage per shot, but obviously that stacks up very, very quickly. You can increase it with a more powerful version of the Crisp Blade. Obviously, I've only got level 1 upgrade, just to make certain bits and pieces a bit faster. I mean, I was using poison for most of the game, so it didn't really matter. The poison doesn't become more powerful depending on your magic stats at all. So, you know, there was no real point. I'm going to regret that when I actually go into new game. I mean, I am going to start leveling this guy up once I get past 1-1. Assuming I ever do.
You fool.
Oh, there you go, he's dead.
Don't you understand?
That was easy.
No one wishes to go on.
Didn't even need any duplicates of myself to help. I'm going to be taking that. Don't know if I'll ever have the stats to use it, but it is now mine. This guy's eventually going to become a Blue Blood build. I'm going to keep his armor the same as it is. I like it as it is now. He will eventually become a proper Blue Blood character. So I can do the stats from scratch, obviously. Boost up my luck stats, all the rest of it. Get some maximum damage. I think I've got light weapon already. Yeah, pretty sure I have. Right. I suppose I better go trigger the final cutscene. If I can remember how. Do I walk out or do I walk towards the light? I think I walk towards the light. Yeah, excellent. I honestly couldn't remember for a second there where I was going to accidentally trigger one of the endings by doing this.
Slayer of demons, go back above. The Nexus shall imprison thee no longer.
And presumably shall imprison you no longer. Which means, if our buddy Frake is right, you are now mortal. Fancy getting a coffee later on?
I shall lull the old one back to slumber.
By massaging its pulsing light. Yeah. Bye there, maid, and I love you. Guess I'll just be going. All of that. All that time, effort. All those things seen, those atrocities witnessed and committed. Guess I'll just walk casually out of the fog. My head held high. And, my principles intact. And my heart. My poor weeping mortal heart. As black as a pit of coal. Nah. Yeah. Just to re-emphasize the point. You're so evil. It's mine. All of it mine.
And powerful demon by its side. And before long,
if I could do all that without any power, imagine what I could do with ultimate power.
bring more souls.
Unlimited power! I like that ending. Not quite as much as the Dark Lord ending from Dark Souls. I mean, obviously the bad ending from this game implies that you're not actually the final boss, you are now just the final boss's bitch, which is somewhat of an antiquated concept. The bad endings of video games always used to do that, imply that your choice was the wrong one, which I never particularly liked. The only bad ending I actually liked in old-fashioned games was the one from Dark Forces. If you went the dark route there, you basically became the Emperor. You had a nice gut punch where, you smash your father's hollow disc thing, cutting all ties with your past and former self, in a rather obvious and dramatic fashion. Yeah. Oh well, but you can't have it all, except when you can, and I just did. But yeah, I'm gonna now attempt to traverse 1-1, with no health, no real firepower, and apparently a cold. We'll have cut out that sneeze, of course. So yeah. Now normally this would be where I do a review of the game, wouldn't it? I would say overall, Demon's Souls is quite interesting. It's got a lot of variety. More so, I actually think, than Dark Souls in terms of play strategies. However, the bosses are very, very disappointing. They're all very gimmicky, even when you don't cheat them out the way I did. So yeah, the levels themselves are a bit more interesting, and certainly more challenging in some respects, than the Dark Souls counterparts. But the constant loading screens, the lack of uniformity between worlds, there's a bit too much emphasis in some cases on going up and down rather than back and forth as well, if you take my meaning, going vertical rather than horizontal. Which provides some interesting exploits and shortcuts, but also provides a lot of trouble with navigating, because, especially stuff like that shortcut for World 2-2, you do that for the first time, and it's both infuriating and terrifying, and not in a fun way. There's a lot of trial and error, which trial and error gameplay is never good. Let's be perfectly honest with ourselves. When you're applying trial and error to navigation in a setting where a mistake puts you right back to the beginning of things, where you may not be able to just readily keep trying things without having to first fight your way through hordes of enemies to get back to the place you already died to try another strategy, that's... yeah. Basically, I think they did it better in Dark Souls. They had a better balance between trial and error and making it easier to try things, if you take my meaning. Not necessarily easier to find the right solution, but easier to actually keep trying and more likely to encourage you to keep doing so. So yeah, so definitely a solid game overall, and I'm going to keep playing it, same as I do Dark Souls. So yeah, those of you who haven't, buy it on PSN, because it is now available that way. And I believe there's yet another Demon's Souls Revival event going on from now until the beginning of December. Get more details of that over at Epic Name Bros channel. Assuming you don't already know. I mean, if you're watching this, there's a fair chance you watch his stuff. I mean, seriously, who plays these games that doesn't? Him, Peeve, Rurikan, and probably German Spy, most well know. Vati Vidya should be as well. But he does mostly lore rather than gameplay, but still, definitely check him out. Okay, see you next time, folks. Bye-bye now.